VP Medialab R&D. He's currently the Innovator Manager of the EU Horizon project Vera.ai, after working in the same position for 2 previous EU projects, InVid and We Verify. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you for the wonderful panel just after to raise the question about what's next. I'm going to try to introduce this new research and innovation action funded by the European Union, the last call for project about AI versus disinformation. So Vera.ai, sorry. Sorry for the interruption. So I'm going to talk about this project and about trying to answer the questions about the state of the art of artificial intelligence versus disinformation. So here are the challenges that Vera.ai is trying to tackle. So you have the slide there. The main idea is to develop novel tools to assist verification professionals throughout the complete content verification workflow. That means that we are dealing with multimodality, we are dealing with text, we are dealing with images, we are dealing with audio and video, and of course with deepfakes as well. The consortium of this new project is 14 partners. That's the same partners from the previous We Verify project, which was an innovation action, which ended last year at the end of November. And we have incorporated 7 new partners, 6 labs, universities, and to strengthen the research, and 1 associated partner, which is the UBU, to get more insight and evaluation and more end users. A part of this big consortium of 14 partners, we're not starting with a blank page. We are starting with the InVid We Verify verification plugin that we did in 2 previous projects, 2 innovation actions, InVid and We Verify. Right now, since a couple of 2 or 3 days, we have more than 80,000 weekly active users with a plugin. These statistics come from the Chrome store. We got more than 106,000 users last month in September, monthly active users. And since the beginning of this year, we are above 370,000 users. 41% of them are from the EU 27 countries. So it's quite a used toolbox in 224 countries. Then we have also Truly Media. Truly Media is the backbone of the EDMO, the European Disinformation Observatory, and the backbone as well of at least 5 regional hubs. So regional EDMO hub, local and regional disinformation observatories. Then we have a database of non-fakes, which was made by Ontotext, the Bulgarian coordinator of We Verify, which is called DBKF, which is a database to store all the fakes which are known and that can be reused, about fakes that may resurface again. And we are using similarity search in images, in videos, and in text to find out quickly whether those fakes are emerging again. Here, so we have a lot of already a good background to start working in, we have already worked in AI, but we are going to work more in AI. Here are just an overview of the tools that some of the partners are bringing. So we have individual tools, modules, some of them working already in artificial intelligence, like deepfake detection, for example. So starting at the bottom left here, we have biometric study of deepfakes, for example, by the University of Napoli in Italy, to debunk deepfakes about personalities. We have forensic tools already. We are merging inside this project 3 different computer vision labs with capacities in deepfake detection, but also in forensics, so trying to merge both AI with forensic detection. So that means the mathematical analysis of the signal of image and the videos. We have the audio forensic from the Fraunhofer Institute in Germany. We have also social research science tools from the Digital Methods Initiative in the University of Amsterdam. Then we have a link sharing behavior from Fabio Giglietto in the University of Urbino in Italy, and we have seen this morning in different presentations that this link sharing behavior is very important to qualify communities and to identify emerging disinformation. We have again this DBKF database of non-fakes, and you can see still that, and this is an issue for machine learning, the blue part of the pie chart there is English content. That means that English language in terms of disinformation and debunking is still very prominent. And we need, of course, to get more different languages to be able to train, artificial intelligence algorithms which are efficient with the content which are scalable. Another approach which is quite important for us is fact checker in the loop. So what does it mean? That's a problem of design. That means that we are listening to the fact checkers community and all the stakeholders who are working in this information. Our users are, of course, fact checkers, journalists all over the world, but we have human rights defenders as well. We have social media scientists, we have media scholars, we have media literacy as well. And we need to find a way to present the evidence in a better way. For example, the forensic analysis is quite difficult because you have to interpret the results. And here we found, for example, in a smaller project last year, we found a way of simplifying forensic analysis. So what you see on the screen is a fake picture of Olena Zelenska, the wife of Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, that, according to the propaganda, was having some vacations on the French Riviera in Nice instead of being in Ukraine. In fact, it was a picture of a British model and stylist called Kimberly Garner, I think. And this picture was tempered. And we imagined this tool, and this tool is just, you put an image, you put your suspicious image, then you put a copy that you retrieve by similarity search on any search engines, and we send it to a mathematical program that is able to match both images and supersede exactly both images, even if they have different resolution, even if they have been cropped, even if they have been heavily tempered like this one. And we build an automated GIF from that image. And this shows the complete evidence of forgery of a previous image, because everything which is not moving is the link between the two images, and everything which is moving shows all the tampering on this image, even the trademark of the shoes at the bottom, which is not completely evident. So, fact checker in a loop, what does it mean? That means that we are collecting stakeholders' views right now. This is the survey that you have there. I invite you all to participate. There is no bad ideas. Everybody interested in tackling disinformation is welcome to share their ideas, their needs, their problems in tackling disinformation. So we are really user-centric, trying to solve user needs. In AI design, that's called also problem-solving loops. That means that it could be using data, it could be using feedback, it could be using user needs, like in that case, to bring to improve our roadmap of tools, because our goal is not to make a proof of concept. Of course, it's to do also for our scientific partners to do good research, but our goal, ultimate goal, is to design new tools which are effective and can be used by thousands of people around the world. To go on this fact checker in the loop AI design approach, what is important also is to hide the technical complexity. This mathematical program I was talking about before, so even if that's not this is not machine learning, that's Go5, that's old-fashioned artificial intelligence. In that case, that's computer vision. We have two very different pictures, but they have a lot of similarities. We compute the similarity. I mean, the program is computing the similarity automatically, and we match both images. And I published it on the French EDMO Hub, the French Disinformation Observatory. So using AI, that means also automating, simplifying interfacing, simplifying tools, simplifying the results, so giving a proof of the evidence, an evidence of forgery, for example. And the idea is also to improve fact checkers' user experience. That means that fact checkers, sometimes they make mistakes. For example, they are using forensic for screenshots. There is a lot of disinformation with screenshots, but screenshots, there are other ways to tackle this kind of disinformation. You can use similarity, you can extract text, you can do plenty of things, but not forensic analysis, because forensic analysis is about JPEG images or images coming out of a camera. So we want to reuse the data as well to be able to detect when fact checkers are making mistakes or when our tools are giving an error message, to be able to improve also the UX, the user experience of fact checkers and all the people fighting disinformation. Another item is that fact checkers are already using AI computer vision tools, but most of them don't know it. Because we are using since day one, so when I launched the plugin in July 2017, we are using machine learning, but that's convolutional neural networks to select the keyframes of videos for you to be able to search by similarity those keyframes and find out whether a video has been already indexed by some search engines. Here is an example from FullFact, using our tool to debunk a fake video, a video previous, a decontextualized video from Lebanon into the war in Ukraine. And this is something that we want to, enhance as well in Vera.ai, because we can do now more things about the video, like detecting faces, for example, which is quite important for every kind of face manipulation, like in deepfake. We can do HDR, for example, in a sequence of images to highlight signs, which permit you to localize, for example, where an image has been taken. We can do some, super resolution. There are many techniques in deblurring, many techniques in artificial intelligence and computer vision that we can use to try to enhance this tool. We are also using already machine learning for multilinguality, tackling multilinguality like OCR, optical character recognition. This is a very well-known example from the Russian television. This example is tricky because it works in some examples, but other images which are very similar don't work at all. They give another language than Russian, for example. And so we need to, this is a problem of data generalization that we know well in machine learning. That means it works on the data set that you have tried, but after it doesn't scale up that easily on other type of data set. So we have a lot of work here. That's a big challenge here to enhance this kind of tool as well, to be able to tackle, for example, Ukrainian. We are not so good, it seems, to transcribe Ukrainians. It works sometimes, but not all the time. So that's a data generalization program that we need to address. Then we want to provide also more guidance to professionals. So we have an assistant as well, which is aimed to help you to find out which tool to use according to the content you are trying to submit to the verification toolbox. We have all those issues yet that need to be addressed during the project. And many unsolved challenges, like, of course, deepfakes, which is a big issue. We have been working 3 years on We Verify. We have made progress, but we still have a lot of progress to make. But we have many ideas to implement the things. We have this link sharing behavior, and this is something which is, very promising, providing that we keep having data from the platform. So for Twitter, it's more or less okay. We are relying for Facebook and Instagram on CrowdTangle. Probably most of you know that CrowdTangle has some issues since a few months. So we hope that we will have definitively a good replacement solution for that. Of course, we want to also we have one task particularly on the amplification role of platform algorithm to monitor what platform are doing in terms of amplification, and the spatial temporal analysis of this information campaign during larger time period. So all those challenges need to be addressed, and that's what we are going to try during the project. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Very interesting indeed, especially in these times where we see more and more disinformation in the form of video and imagery. I think we have time for one question before the break. So if anyone has a question, please raise your hand. Yes, please.
Thanks. I have actually a very low-tech question about your second slide where you had a pie chart, which I believe showed the distribution of languages, the volume of disinformation where English was the blue.
Sorry, yes, that's after.
And I was wondering what the two other large slices were, and also where Russian falls in that pie chart. Maybe you can't answer it offhand, but it would be interesting for me to find out.
Okay, I can try to look at it. The second one, if I remember, was Spanish, I think, because I mean there's of course Spain in Europe, but there's all South America. And the third one was German. I think the fourth one was French. It depends on the sources that we index. In terms of Russian, I think it's very low. I don't remember exactly regarding Russians. But I mean, that's part of the thing that we, of course, we want to tackle as well, to tackle multilinguality. We have several partners from Bulgaria, from Slovakia, and others that understand Russian as well. I've been working also on Russian disinformation. So that's part of the work we want to address. But of course, the Russian disinformation is also translated mostly into English, but also in other languages. You have a website like War on Fakes, for example. They are using the codes of fact-checking to try to disinform. And they are translating it because they are addressing part of their propaganda is for their own, for Ukrainian people, to try to get advantage of them for their own side, but also for foreign Western countries. So they are translating also the content. I hope I answered the question. Any other question?
If not, I think...
There's one.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Envid is a tool that I use for many years, and thank you for that, for developing this. I think it's very interesting to see what can happen, but I've got a question related to monitoring this information, because this tool is very useful when you know what you're looking for, when you already have something. But one thing that could be very useful for the fact-checking community is to have more tools that can, provide us some contents that could be shared, because there is a lot of platforms today. We talked about Snapchat, that was pretty difficult to search on, and TikTok contents, and also do you have any ideas how we can be better at monitoring the content we could fact check?
Yes, well, we have a couple of tools for social network analysis, Twitter, search, social network analysis, and CrowdTangle for Facebook and Instagram, providing that you have access to CrowdTangle. But of course, yeah, we are looking at new platforms to see whether we can access. If there is an API, that's something that we can, with not too much restrictions, we can do something, unless we have to do scraping. And we do also when we are obliged to, but that's a bit tricky because the platforms are changing their code all the time. We need to update it all the time. The video I've showed from TikTok, from Full Fact, for example, during a lapse of time, it was not possible to process it, but now it's possible again. So we are fighting against the anti-scraping measures by the platforms as well. But I mean, you're right. I mean, there's several. For example, Telegram is something that we have already some prototypes, and that's something we want to tackle at some point because that's important for the community.
Thank you, Denis, and thank you, everyone. I think that we can now go on a break and meet here at 4:10 for the next session. You say you're the media, now act like one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.